for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I will now ask the clerk to do a roll call.
Councilor Tesher.
Here.
Councilor Taylor.
Here.
Councilor Vega.
Here.
Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Present.
Councilor Sanigat.
Here.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Present.
Councilor De Jesus.
Present.
Councilor Brown.
Present.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia.
Present.
And Councilor Robinson.
Yeah.
All members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, clerk. We will now suspend the rules to hold a moment of silence for our beloved Detective Scott Conley. Briefly, I'll read. The Chelsea City Council mourns the sudden and tragic passing of Chelsea Police Detective Scott Conley on March 15, 2024, after a lengthy battle with illness. After he served our nation in the United States Army between 1991 and 2000, Detective Conley started his impressive career at the Chelsea Police Department on February 22, 1996. Up to the moment of his passing during Detective Conley's tenure, he was assigned to the department's first critical response team, receiving specialized training in tactical and urban operations with a focus on gang operations. He was assigned as a task force officer with the FBI's Violent Gang Task Force, operating out of the Boston field office in Chelsea. He traveled on numerous occasions to Central America, most notably El Salvador, as a consultant for the U.S. Department of State. In 2017, he was asked to testify in front of the U.S. Congress Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs as a subject matter expert on border insecurity and the rise of transitional gangs in the U.S. We have lost a great leader in our city. We are fortunate to have been able to call him our very own Chelsea Police Department. His years of service will never be forgotten, and we hold his family in our hearts during these difficult times. Please stand for the moment of silence, and if anyone would like to say a few words.
I'd like to say a few words, Madam President.
Should we?
So I want to thank Officer Conley for his dedication and service, as was read, not only to the city of Chelsea, but the residents, but also our country, where he served as a veteran in the United States Army. My hearts, my prayers, and thoughts are with him and his family, his loved ones, and his sisters and brothers in blue, as they wear the colors to represent him and also to uphold his legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Recupero.
I had the honor of knowing Mr. Scott Conley. I remember when he started in the beginning in the Chelsea Police. He was a great person, a great human being, and he'll be sorely missed by the department and the people here that knew him. For my experience with him, he was kind, he was good, and he was fair. And that's what you need in a policeman, is a fair policeman. And he was a very fair person, and he'll be missed. And my heart goes out to his family and to everybody that knows him. So it was my honor and everybody's honor that knew him. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. We'll proceed with the moment of silence. Thank you. We're now going to move forward to memoriams and celebratory resolutions. And Councilor Sanigat, you have the floor.
Thank you. I see that we have some special guests in the audience tonight. Welcome. When we were trying to think how we could celebrate Women's History Month, I personally think that every day is Women's Day, but there's a month, so let's shine a light on women during March. When we were trying to think of what we could do, one of the things that has been on my mind since I started on the council is the fact that in the conference room that's right next door, there isn't one picture of a woman on the walls. We also have to look at a urinal when we use the bathroom. There's a stall in there, but it's not an all-user bathroom. And I think that is because historically, more men than women were in here in positions of responsibility. And so, as we were thinking, I thought, There are so many great women in our community, but there are so many great women working here in City Hall for the city. So it would be wonderful to recognize them. Some of them have made history for being the first female commissioner for Public Works, for example. So that is what we're doing tonight. We're recognizing our people in the city that work for the city. So thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Do you wish to continue by suspending the rules?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Okay. With that being said, yes, I'll let my colleagues also speak.
Thank you.
Counselor Brown?
Thank you, Madam President. I want to congratulate the women tonight, and it's a great honor to be here, to be a part of this resolution, to recognize you. Some of you have been here from day one, talking about Cheryl Watson Fitzer, but some of you are very new as our Deputy City Manager on the job, as Kate Fox has been here a few years, but you know, our Superintendent, you've come in, you've done awesome job in representing not only the city, but yourself, your culture, and you bring just the experience and the dedication. So I'm so honored that we, the ladies, have put this resolution and also this plaque together that we can honor all these women. And obviously, you know, Ms. Perez has come in and she's just been, you know, just continuing to roll the wheel and bring us together and mold us and make us aware of things that was just spoke by my fellow council member, that, you know, because historically this building probably was built for men, and, you know, you still have to see some of the architect of the men. But now with what's going on here now, we hope and we pray that as we move forward, we will be able to dedicate this and also what we do in here, make it more pleasing to you, to show your representation and your will and your desire to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Anyone else wish to speak? Okay. I will proceed now with reading the certificates of recognition that each one of our department heads will be receiving. I will also be reading brief bios for all of our honorees this evening. So the certificate reads, Certificate of Recognition presented to the honoree. This Women's History Month, the Chelsea City Council recognizes the long storied history of great women who helped our nation realize its founding promise and express profound gratitude to the women who lead departments in Chelsea government. And the first one of our list is Dr. Almi Albeida, Superintendent of Chelsea Public Schools. Dr. Albeida has spent 27 years working to improve teaching and learning for students in urban education. Her career began as a kindergarten teacher, later serving in various leadership roles, including being a principal and assistant superintendent for teaching and learning in several districts in Massachusetts. Dr. Albeida is now the superintendent of Chelsea Public Schools. In 2015, she was awarded the first Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents, ALAS, Latina Administrator of the Year Award. And in 2021, she was awarded the inaugural La Lucha Award by Latinos for Education. Dr. Albeida grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and is a proud product of public schools. She has a bachelor's degree in communication and journalism, University of New Mexico, and holds 2 master's degrees and a doctorate degree from Harvard Graduate School of Education. Round of applause for Dr. Almi Albeida. Yes, so I will present these at the end, and we'll have all of our women stand in front, and we'll allow our families and friends to take pictures. Next, we have Patrice Montefusco, our Treasurer and Collector Director, and she quotes, I quote her, "Honored to have been able to work in the city you grew up in for 27 years. I started in planning and development and moved into the treasurer's office as a senior fiscal analyst. I then transitioned into the assistant treasurer's position for most of my years and have been the treasurer for the past 5 years. I enjoy the work I do and all the wonderful people I work with." Congratulations, Next, we have Lisa Musiaron, Director of Chelsea Public Library. I am a graduate of Northeastern University and Penn West Clarion and have been in public libraries for 25 years. It is my honor and privilege to serve the city of Chelsea in my capacity at the Chelsea Public Library. Congratulations. Next, we have Tracy Nowicki, Director of Elder Services. Tracy Nowicki began her public service career for the city of Chelsea in 1990, working under a mayor, 2 state-appointed receivers, and 3 city attorneys. In her earlier years, Tracy played a pivotal role in the Department of Justice Weeds and Seeds initiative. With the Chelsea Police Department, she also spearheaded community forums aimed at integrating a city curfew ordinance. Currently serving as the Director of Elder Services, Tracy's extensive and diverse experiences has uniquely positioned her to oversee the successful transformation of Elder Services and the Senior Center. Under her leadership, Elder Services has evolved into a dynamic, multi-purpose city department offering vital complementary health and wellness services to the Chelsea's esteemed senior residents. Tracy Nowicki is grateful to the City Council for this special recognition. Congratulations. Next, we have Devin Fields, Deputy City Manager, Operations. Devin Fields has worked in municipal government for almost 10 years. In her most recent role as the Assistant Town Administrator for Operations in the town of Brookline, she worked to bring hybrid meeting technology to the town, implemented technology solutions to increase government transparency, and launched the Town Administrative Newsletter. Devin is passionate about voting and has registered over 500 citizens to vote. Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Candace Perez, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. Dr. Candace Perez is a reproductive health expert and advocate for women and girls' sexual health. She is a board-certified sexologist who coaches and empowers women and girls to prioritize their reproductive health agency and has conducted research which introduced the intentional intersectional space that centers Black women and girls' reproductive health called Heteromelas. As a diversity, equity, and inclusion executive and strategist, she is a visionary leader who promotes inclusion, learning, and development, and an innovation within systems in order to drive positive long-term outcomes. Dr. Perez is an unapologetic protector of all women and girls. Congratulations. Next, we have B. Cravata, Director of Recreation and Cultural Affairs. Unbelievably grateful to have the good fortune to be working in the field of recreation administration throughout her career. Thank you, B. Next, we have Kate Fox Lent, Commissioner, Department of Public Works. Kate previously worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, working on environmental and resilience issues. After pursuing a master's in a public administration, she joined the City of Chelsea as an advisor to the city manager, before progressing to business manager for DPW, and now is the Commissioner of Public Works. Congratulations. Next, we have our Cheryl Watson, City Solicitor. I have been a member of the senior leadership team since 2003. As the City Solicitor in 2008, I became school counsel, and in 2016, I became licensing director. I reestablished the Chelsea Day celebration, Chelsea 400, and am the steering committee for the city's 400th celebration. Congratulations, Cheryl. Next, we have Jeanette Cintron White, City Clerk, Parking Clerk. Since 1999, I have worked in various positions. It began with the city as a supervisor with the Youth Employment Service Program for at-risk children. I transitioned into the role as a new park ranger in the model site in Bellingham Hill Park for the Park Ranger program. Since then, I have proudly held the position of data entry at the police station and the weed and seed coordinator and the assistant parking clerk. Today, I serve as the city clerk parking since 2016. I find great pride in having worked with the city for more than half my life. It is my wish to retire from the city of Chelsea. Congratulations. Next, we have Dragika Ivanis, Chief Procurement Officer. Finding the best price for department's needs, cost savings of goods and services, best value using open and fair competitive process following procurement laws, contract management, assuring policy and procedures are followed. Thank you for your work. Next, we have Flor Amaya, Director of Public Health. Flor Amaya is an outcome-oriented physical therapist and public health professional with over 10 years of public health program development, implementation, and management across multiple settings of health delivery systems, including hospitals, academic institutions, and local boards of health. In her role as Director of Public Health for the City of Chelsea, she has coordinated efforts between local, state, and federal agencies to improve the response, communication, and resource allocation to help mitigate adverse health outcomes for Chelsea residents. Thank you. That is it for our list. Thank you, ladies, so much for everything that you do on a day-to-day, for the new ladies that are taking over departments, for the ladies who have been in these departments their entire life. This is amazing. I am so proud that our city has such amazing leadership from you all. I'll recognize that we also have in the room Roseanne Bongiovanni, former city councilor, also a woman leader in the city of Chelsea, and as my colleague mentioned, this is definitely a demonstration of how far our city has come within our departments, within the municipality, all the women that are represented here. I celebrate my sisters every day. Thank you, ladies, for coming in all the time, prepared. And I will now, I'll hand out these certificates. So the families and loved ones, I think counselors would like to take a picture first with all of our department heads. And then we can step to the side so the loved ones and friends that are present can also take pictures. Thank you.
So just all the recipients who come forward.
back in session. Congratulations once again to all our beautiful department heads. I will now move us into memoriams and celebratory resolutions.
We have a resolution introduced by Council President De Jesus and all members of the City Council recognizing Nicola Richardson. Whereas Nicola Audrey Richardson is an extraordinary individual whose unwavering dedication and selflessness have profoundly impacted the lives of many within Chelsea. And whereas she was born on November 4th, 1964 in Brooklyn, New York, where she developed a profound sense of empathy and a commitment to caring for others as she traveled between New York City and Boston with her father. And whereas for over 2 decades, Nicola has called Chelsea home, currently residing at 260 Clark Avenue, where she serves as president of the Tenants Association. And whereas Nicola has dedicated her professional career to elder services, having worked at esteemed nursing homes such as East Point Soldiers Home, Chelsea Jewish Nursing Home, and the Lighthouse Nursing Home. And whereas despite the physical challenges she has faced, including the need for a shoulder replacement due to the strains of her demanding work, her spirit has remained unbroken, and her resilience and determination to continue making a difference in the lives of others serves as an inspiration to us all. And whereas beyond her professional endeavors, her love and pride for Chelsea are evident to all who know her, as is her remarkable ability to bring people together, regardless of their background, to foster a sense of unity and belonging. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chelsea City Council expresses its gratitude to Nicola Richardson for embodying the values of compassion, community service, and resilience that have touched the lives of so many, and for a lifetime dedicated to making our community a better place for all.
Thank you, Clerk. I will ask one of my colleagues to please accept and file on my behalf.
Adopted unanimously on the suspension if there are no objections.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on to our next resolution.
Next, we have a resolution introduced by Council President De Jesus and all members of the City Council recognizing Cara Cogliano. Whereas Cara Cogliano has announced her resignation as Director of Chelsea Community Connections, a position she has held since January 2013, to become Director of UAccess, a basic needs support program for college students at UMass Boston. And whereas Cara grew up in Newton, graduated from Newton South High School, and attended Boston University, graduating with a degree in early childhood education and training before receiving her master's degree in nonprofit business management from Brandeis University. And whereas Cara began her career as a child development specialist with Bay Cove Human Services in Boston and in Italy as a contractor with the United States Navy, eventually becoming program director of the Community Connection program in Lowell. And whereas from its deceptively small office on Hawthorne Street, Chelsea Community Connection helps nearly 500 families per year overcome barriers to acquire homes, jobs, healthcare, and many other necessities. And whereas Chelsea Community Connection strives to strengthen families, eliminate child abuse and neglect, and build a healthier community. And whereas the severe socioeconomic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic put a heavy strain on nonprofits across Chelsea, but Cara and the volunteers at Chelsea Community Connections managed the massive influx of those in need and have continued to assist residents to this day while never losing sight of their core values: collaboration, compassion, diversity, empowerment, and respect. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chelsea City Council expresses its profound gratitude to Cara Cogliano for her work assisting families in Chelsea, East Boston, Revere, Winthrop, and Charlestown. As Director of Chelsea Community Connections, celebrates her commitment to helping families in need achieve the type of safety and nurturing environment needed to thrive, and wish her success in her new position as Director of UAccess at UMass Boston.
Thank you, Clerk.
Make a motion to adopt under suspension, Madam Chairman.
Absolutely. Thank
Can I
you,
speak on
Counselor.
it?
Yes, you have the floor.
Don't mind. I want to congratulate Carol for her work, for doing a fantastic job serving at the Chelsea Community Connection. Believe it or not, years ago, I was a volunteer. I was a volunteer with Sheila McMahon, from Winthrop, Massachusetts. And so I know and understand the work that you've done there over the past few years, the dedication you've provided, the commitment to our community here. I know you've raised toys for tots. I know you also did the clothes drives, the shoes drive. I've been part of some of that, but most importantly, you've spearheaded those efforts under your leadership. We're so grateful for the work and the dedication that you've done over there on Winthrop, on Hawthorne Street. And I wish you all the best in your future as you move forward. But remember, we always say this: please take Chelsea with you, because once in Chelsea, always in Chelsea. Thank you for your commitment.
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, you have the floor, Senator Kate.
Thank you. What can I say to my paisan, Cara? tanti auguri, tantissimi auguri, which means best wishes. We've worked together for many, many years. And the things that Kara has done, I have been in awe, working out of, as Kelvin said, a tiny, tiny space and serving so many in our community. Always with a smile and always thinking of just every little thing. So we appreciate you so much. We'll miss you, but I told you you're not going to get rid of me. That's it. We're paisans for life. So best of luck at UMass. They are really lucky to have you. We'll miss you and miss seeing you every day, but we know where to find you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Garcia, Danaidy Garcia.
I just want to thank you. I worked alongside of you during COVID, and I have to say that this woman gave so many diapers out during the pandemic. All I saw was boxes and boxes coming out of her vehicle during the pandemic with no fear at all. So I want to thank you. Thank you for thinking of our moms, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, with that being said, we want to present, any other speakers? No, okay, we want to present you with a certificate and also suspend the rules for pictures. them is
All right, hopefully we can get this meeting done by 8.
Yep. What time is it now? Got this. As long, yeah, no, this is gonna be good. And we did so much.
I'm prepped and ready to go. Do it one more time,
Okay.
politely.
Moving us forward to
Public hearing.
a public hearing on capital improvement plan. Is anyone here for the public hearing and wish to speak? Okay, please proceed to the podium. You have 4 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Just make sure they know it's for the CIP.
And I'm making sure that you guys are speaking on the capital improvement plan.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so we're doing the hearing first. Is anyone here for the capital improvement plan hearing? Are you guys here for public speaking, general public speaking? Okay. Okay.
Close the public hearing now.
All right, we're closing the public hearing and moving on to public speaking.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Sokol. I live at 184 Chestnut Street. Good to see all of you. Thank you for taking some time to listen to me tonight. I know I've worn a lot of hats around here, but tonight I'm speaking only as a resident of this community that I love, specifically on some of the items that you will be discussing later tonight. In particular, utility assistance for Chelsea residents and entrepreneurship support. I wanted to start with the utility assistance because I don't have a personal story about that one, just my own experience as a social worker with a lot of the cases I've worked in Chelsea. Anytime we could find more financial support for families struggling in Chelsea, especially with things like utilities, will make a significant impact in their stability and their ability to move forward with their lives, keep their housing stable, and work on getting ahead, which is, I know, something that we all want to see. In my experience, the biggest issue I've seen with clients I've worked with in Chelsea has been housing stability, their ability to pay rent and utilities. So again, any kind of support like that, I think, would have massive benefits. Now, the other thing I want to speak on was the entrepreneurship support, because I have a little story I wanted to share with you about a friend of mine named Dan. So Dan is a middle-aged man from Vietnam who immigrated here and opened a restaurant just on the border of Chelsea and Everett. Now, I met Dan because I am a huge fan of Vietnamese food, specifically pho. If anyone's had it, you know what I mean. I have eaten pho all across this great nation: Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and many places in Boston. I love to cook. It's one of my hobbies. So while I am by no means an expert, I'd like to think that I know at least a little bit of what I'm talking about when I say that his specific product is the best pho I've ever had. And I've been saying it since day one, since I first had it. It's been better than anything I've tried, anywhere I've traveled, and I have tried it everywhere I can. Unfortunately, Dan was forced to close his small business around Christmas time this year, which is really a shame because if any of you have tried to find pho in Chelsea, you'll know that it's actually not available here. The closest place you can go is Saigon Hut in East Boston. I know that because I've been forced to order from them when he closed down. I spoke to him a lot about trying to convince him not to close, if my own personal selfish reasons. But unfortunately, he said that it was too hard to find employment, that people were dining and dashing, and it just wasn't feasible for him to keep up his business. This is one man running this entire business. When I went there, he took my order, and then he disappeared, and then he showed up 15 minutes later with my food. He is the only one in this building. And he was keeping it going for a long time. He survived the pandemic because his product was so good and so high quality. And I wasn't the only one that recognized this. He told me that when he announced he was closing, he got email after email after email from community members and people that had visited his restaurant many times saying, please give me the recipe, at the very least. So I'm telling you all this to illustrate that we have a lot of really, really talented people in this city and around this city. A lot of people whose talents, unfortunately, go to waste or are not recognized or they can't use to actually support themselves and their families. And I actually went to the Chamber of Commerce here in Chelsea. I talked to several people trying to find a way to support him and convince him to stay open or at least try to find a way to move to the Chelsea side of the border because I think he would be a great addition to our community. Unfortunately, this hasn't happened yet, and he hasn't gotten back in touch with me for a couple of months. And so I'd like you to think about this story when you discuss this, because we know it's not just him. This is one of many, many talented immigrants in our city, in our community, that deserve a chance to show what they're doing, make a living, make a life for themselves, support their families, and improve our community. So please consider that when you discuss tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Harmony Boyd, and I live at 375 Broadway. I wanted to come and talk to you, the esteemed members of the City Council, today because I have heard talk, and it's just talk right now, but it still concerns me because I feel like it shouldn't even be talked about, of building a parking garage in the city of Chelsea. I think this would be a catastrophic mistake that would set back the good work that the council is doing to make the city a better place for everyone who lives here. Parking garages and generally the solution of building more parking in general to solve a parking crisis is self-defeating. When you build new parking structures, especially big ones like parking garages, you are only creating induced demand, where the current slack demand of people, many people maybe who were or are in this room who might bike or take the T, would instead be able to think, oh, I'll just take my car. And so all of the capacity that would be, thought to be added is filled on its own. And it also increases economic disparity between different classes of people because those who can drive and those who can own and afford to maintain an automobile are the richest people in Chelsea, period. 1 in 5 members of the Chelsea community lives in abject poverty, sometimes $30,000 a year. You can't afford a vehicle that way. This parking garage would do, nothing to help them. And so I feel that members of the City Council, please dismiss this idea out of hand and do not have any thought of building a parking garage. We must more intelligently manage our existing parking spaces. Adding more will only increase traffic and not do anything to actually solve the underlying problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Andy Ramos, and I live at 49 Clark Avenue here in Chelsea, and I'm in support of the program for entrepreneurs. I'm an owner of Andy J. Company, which is a small body care and home essentials online boutique. A micro business that started here in Chelsea in June 2023, officially. Challenges that we face are in production. We have a beautiful clientele, but with the shows that we've been hosting, it does get a little bit out of hand as a one-man show. Due to this lack of equipment, sometimes we're forced to close our pop-ups and lose $25 to $150 worth of deposit because we can't meet the capacity of quality of products. With the help of the City of Chelsea and the Chamber of Commerce, we've did 5 successful pop-ups in last year. 2 being sold-out shops selling over 100 units And with this program, not only would I be left, not only I, but my neighboring entrepreneurs will be able to expand their brand and quality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Levin Calderon. I was born in El Salvador. I immigrated to this country in 2016. Since then, I have lived here. I love Chelsea. Chelsea has given me so much that I more than appreciate that. I went to Chelsea High School. I graduated the same year that Manuel Teche graduated. I heard about this proposal that is being proposed tonight. And I'm here to tell you that I want to grow as an entrepreneur. I know that it's not easy when you start a new business, especially when it's not your native country. However, Chelsea, I feel like I am at home. Everywhere you go, you see every face, and I see my family there. And that's why I want to have my own business here. But for so many reasons, I don't have enough tools to have that business. My whole family, they live in El Salvador. I support them. I brought out my sister last year. She's 17 now. And all those issues that I have faced, they have stopped me to have my business. I think this is a great opportunity if this proposal goes on. I will more than happy because that will be a very big help for me. And not only for me, for a lot of people, because I want to start with one employee and I want to give that person the opportunity to have a job, and so on and so on. I think I can grow. What I'm thinking about is to have a smoothies place where I can sell smoothies with protein. I think we don't have any place here around Chelsea where you can find a smoothie that is healthy for you, for your own good. So I have a very close friend who already owns one of these places in the Copley Mall. So what they do, they sell smoothies based on protein. For example, strawberry, mango, and vanilla protein. Also, I will create a menu where I can include vegan and organic smoothies. All right? So that's my idea, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for the public speaking? Okay, seeing no one else, I always like to share that although you don't hear from counselors directly right now, some of us may reach out, but we are so thankful for everyone who takes the time to come up here and share their opinion. So thank you for coming out tonight. Okay, moving on to approval of the minutes.
We have approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council dated March 4th, 2024.
Do I hear a motion on the floor?
Accept and file under suspension if there are no objections.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on.
Next, we move on to communications from the city manager. We have a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez requesting appointments to board and commissions. Dear Councilors, pursuant to Section 4-2 of the Charter of the City of Chelsea, I am writing to recommend the following individuals to boards and commissions in the City of Chelsea. For appointment to the Historical Commission, Mr. David Vences of Chelsea for a new 3-year term expiring April 1st, 2027. And for appointment to the Cultural Council, Ms. Tawana Dean Wright of Chelsea for a new 3-year term expiring April 1st, 2027. I respectfully request your approval of these appointments. Copies of resumes are attached.
How does the council wish to proceed?
Move to a second reading under suspension if there are no objections.
Counselor Robinson moves to a second reading. Seeing no objections, moving on.
Next, we have a communication received from the city manager regarding the permanent hiring of an executive assistant in the city manager's office. Dear councilors, I am writing to inform you that I will be hiring Grace Augusto as executive assistant in the city manager's office effective April 1st, 2024. This is a permanent exempt position reporting directly to the city manager. This announcement is consistent with my presentation to the city council on the city manager's 100-day action plan. Ms. Augusto is the last hire in the city manager's office. This hire does not require any additional appropriation of funds. Ms. Augusto is a lifelong Chelsea resident and a graduate of Chelsea High School. Ms. Augusto is also bilingual and deeply connected to our community. Ms. Augusto has been working in the city manager's office on a temporary basis since January 2nd, 2024, and has excelled during her time with us. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Augusto to this permanent position with our city.
How does the council wish to proceed?
Accept and file the communication under suspension if there's no objection.
Thank you, Counselor. Seeing no objections, Counselor Brown, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to thank the city manager for such a great hire here. Again, it speaks for itself. We got a lifelong Chelsea resident. If you look at her report here, she worked her way up. She went to college. She did all the right things. Her mother, I know her mother, they were very dedicated to make sure she stayed on the right track. She worked in a lot of stores here in our community. She knows the community, not only stores, but she also volunteered with some of the nonprofit organizations. And she's always been a straight shooter, someone that you can go to, talk to her regardless of what side or what aisle you stood on. She was there and she was fair, so looking forward to working with her. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on.
Next, we have a
I'm sorry, Counselor Robinson.
I would ask if there would be no objections that we can do a roll call vote on the acceptance tonight as opposed to send it to a second reading. If there are no objections
Counselors?
for the hire.
There's no vote needed.
You don't need it.
No.
No
it's-
need.
it's-
You don't need it.
Thank you, Counselor. Okay,
moving on.
moving on.
Next, we have a communication received from the city manager requesting an extension of contract for Police Chief Keith Houghton. Dear councilors, I am writing to inform you that I have extended the contract of Police Chief Keith Houghton for an additional 2 years, with a term ending on May 31st, 2027. Chief Houghton has done a terrific job over the last 2 years leading the Chelsea Police Department, particularly in light of many key retirements in the department. Chief Houghton has done a great job interacting with our community and has created significant partnerships. In my time in office, I have been impressed with Chief Houghton's responsiveness and his ability to deal with difficult situations in our city. Chief Houghton is extremely committed to maintain a strong relationship with the City Council. We will continue our Public Safety Subcommittee meetings as well as our weekly calls on youth violence. I look forward to working diligently with Chief Houghton and the command staff to ensure public safety remains a top priority for our administration.
Is there a motion on the floor?
Accept and file the communication under suspension if there's no objection.
Seeing no objections, moving on.
Madam President, if I could speak briefly.
Absolutely, you have the floor, Counselor.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, this is another great extension. Again, someone from Chelsea, someone's been doing a great job, who worked his way up the ranks, need to be highlighted. A person that stayed in Chelsea, still lives in Chelsea, pays attention to our community, works with us, as each council members know. He started out on the License Commission, working with the License Commission with our city solicitor, and he's kept his dedication here. And he's, as my colleague would say, a very fine and firm gentleman. So I look forward to working with him for the next 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on.
Next, we have a communication received from the city manager responding to City Council Order 2481, report on tax abatements. Dear councilors, I am writing in response to Council Order 2481, requesting a report on the number of abatements provided by the city. I requested this information from our assessor, Jim Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan was able to provide a comprehensive report detailing tax abatements since 2020. This report has been shared with the City Council Clerk, Council President, and Councilor Robinson, who initiated the request. Thank you to Mr. Sullivan for his quick action on this request.
How does the council wish to proceed?
Accept and file a communication under suspension. Have been in contact with the city manager discussing the situation.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on.
Next, we have a communication received from the city manager responding to City Council Order 2484, Welcome to Chelsea signs. Dear councilors, I am writing in response to Council Order 2484, requesting that the city install a Welcome to Chelsea sign at the Chelsea Street Bridge and the Meridian Street Bridge. We will make the installation of these signs a priority. Our Department of Public Works has made a visit to these locations to evaluate this installation. The City of Chelsea does not own any properties in these areas where we can install these signs. We have reached out to the property owners and requested permission to install the signs on their property. I will keep the council apprised as we make progress on these installations.
Councilor Recupero, how do you wish to proceed?
Docked on the suspension with no objection, and I'd like to speak on it.
You have the floor.
This doesn't make any sense to me. For one, it says the city properties doesn't own any properties. So what happened on Broadway when you have a big sign that says, "Welcome to Chelsea," that's put on a street, right? What happened to when you get off the Tobin Bridge? Who's that belong to? Belongs to the city. So how are you going to say to me on this order, well, we in contact with owners? What do you mean, the owners? Put it on the sidewalk. You put it on the sidewalk in the other way. So is this a delay tactic not to do it? Because that answer doesn't sound right to me. Because you did it on the other way. When you come into Chelsea from Revere, there's a big sign that says, "Welcome to Chelsea," and it's right on the sidewalk. Did you ask permission to the city owner or whoever owns it to put it there? No. Same thing, as I repeated, you have them all over the place, but there's no owners there. The city owns the sidewalk. So if you want to put it, you put it on a sidewalk. That's what you're supposed to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Just to confirm, you want to accept and file this order?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Next, we have a communication received from the city manager responding to City Council Order 2485, Traffic Configuration Plans for Park Square. Dear councilors, I am writing in response to Council Order 2485 requesting an update on the traffic studies and potential configuration for Park Square. I am happy to report that the City of Chelsea has done extensive analysis, design, and exploration in this corridor. We have a lot of information to share. I will reach out to the councilors to review the proposed design in more detail. Below is a brief summary for your reference. We are undertaking a project with MassDOT to address pedestrian, bicycle, public transportation, on-street parking, and vehicular needs on Park Street and Pearl Street.
Waive the rest of the reading.
Thank you.
Accept and file the communication, and I'd like to speak on it.
You have the floor, Councilor.
Okay, here's another one that's kind of funny. This thing is going to take 3 years. Now, that's a long time. 3 years is a long time to fix something that's been going on for 5 years. This has been going on for the last 5 years, as I can remember. So now we got an additional 3 years to it. Then over here you have something that was already voted, but it's still, what is it, item 6. Stripe the 2 lanes between Cross Street, Congress Avenue, clearly for the left turn. We'll finish, we won't read the rest. But that was already done, that it was supposed to be done. I know that I was told that they're going to put that as soon as springtime comes so they can stripe it. That's one thing. Then there's another one, which I went to a meeting between East Boston and the bridge where they're going to put a bicycle lane. And that's an item, where is it? I'm sorry, I didn't write that one down. But it's there, right? And I wouldn't advise putting a bicycle lane anywhere off that Chelsea, off that Meridian Street Bridge. How are you going to turn? You're creating a bigger problem for people to get hit. You're going to go down the lane and you're going to go to the left, and that's, I don't know about that one, but the whole thing with this is, this study's been going on for years. It's time for to be resolved. You shouldn't have to wait 10 years for something that's a big problem right now. You can't get in and out. Go to Congress Ave, go down to Pearl Street, go down to, you can't move. So it should have been fixed. 3 years is a long time. Maybe the city manager and whoever's in charge can accelerate the process and make it a little smoother for the people that live here. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Moving on to communications and petitions to the council.
We have a communication received from Councilor Kelly Garcia, delegate to the school committee, reporting the Chelsea Public Schools indicators of success for March of 2024.
Councilor Kelly Garcia, you have the floor.
Hi, team. In front of me, I have 2 PowerPoint presentations that I will send to you via email. But in front of you, you have indicators of success. And so what that is a monthly report that the school committee reviews every month, going over, and Councilor Roberto Jimenez, I know we went through this for many, many years, but I'm updating our team. This indicator of success goes through our attendance rates over the entire district. Every grade level gets monitored. Every grade also gets monitored in terms of their grades. Yes. And then also dropout rates, iReady data. And so I'm more than happy to dive in, but I know I have less than 5 minutes. So I'd actually like to turn our attention very quickly to these two presentations. The last school committee meeting, we went over an update on the Chelsea Virtual Learning Academy, which is an incredible school that our school district offers that actually many students in neighboring districts want to join, but we are a Chelsea-only school district. And so it's 3 years old, and we have over 200 students enrolled. And what it is, it's truly an innovative school that we came together and developed for students who are really having a hard time going personally in the school building. And so I'm really proud of the work that our team is doing over on the school committee and central office and the principal of the school. It's really great. You can read, apologies for not getting this in time, but it's phenomenal information that our students are experiencing through this Chelsea Virtual Learning Academy. Next, I'm proud to say, as you know, our mission in Chelsea Public Schools is we welcome all and we educate all. And there is a new study from Brown University that included rising numbers and unmet needs. It's immigrant newcomers in Massachusetts high schools. Chelsea is part of these 14 cities that have welcomed newcomers with open arms, and we will continue to do so. And so I ask that our city council continues to work together with our school department and our school committee to allocate funding. I know budget season is upon us, and so I ask that we collectively work together to continue to make sure that our schools are properly funded and our students continue to feel loved, seen, and heard. Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh, I have
Counselor.
one more update.
And before you end, just let us know how you wish to proceed with the order.
I'd like to
Accept and file.
accept and file if there are no
Objections.
objections.
Can I say something?
After she's done.
I'm almost done, I promise, Mr. Recupero. One last thing, I was able to meet briefly with Blanca, our Northeast rep. She was actually a little sick, so we briefly checked in last week, but we are meeting in person tomorrow. We were able to get a meeting in the books with Mr. Dabari, did I say that right, Mr. Robinson? On March 21st, where he will like to meet with us and the city council and the school committee to discuss any questions we may have regarding the construction project, the letter that was sent in January, and I will be sure to send that communication out to the council. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Recupero, you have the floor.
I only want to say thank you to whoever did this. I can read it. That's the way all the reports should be done, where you can read it. I can show you, I'll open this up. Look how nice it is to read. So we should all get these kind, because I can show you something in here that you need a magnifying glass. Thank you, whoever did this, so we can read it nice and neat. Thank you.
Can I give a quick shout out to the Chelsea Public School System?
I'll also shout out that we have a lot more communication. Thank you, Councilor Garcia, and thank you, Councilor Robinson, for staying on top of not just the vocational conversation, but also everything that has to do with our schools. Okay, moving on.
We have a communication received from the Assistant Parking Clerk regarding the agenda items approved at the March 12, 2024 meeting of the Traffic and Parking Commission.
Is there a motion?
Accept and file a communication under suspension if there are no objections.
Thank you, Counselor.
We move on to second readings. We have a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez requesting approval of appointments to boards and commissions. Dear Councilors, pursuant to Section 4-2 of the Charter of the City of Chelsea, I am writing to recommend the following individuals to board and commissions in the city. For appointment to the Board of Trustees of the Library, Ms. Jordana Mather of Chelsea for a new 3-year term expiring March 18, 2027. and for appointment to the Chelsea Tree Board, Mr. Raymond Gomez of Chelsea for a new 3-year term expiring March 18, 2027. He respectfully requests approval of these appointments. Copies of resumes are attached.
That's
there-
for a roll call on the adoption. There are no objections.
Moving into a roll call. Seeing no objections.
A yes vote is to adopt. Councilor Tesh.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
Councilor Vega. Councilor Tenari Garcia.
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat.
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia.
Yes.
And Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
11 in favor, none opposed, none absent. Appointments are approved.
Thank you, Clerk. Moving on.
Next, we move on to an order introduced by Councilor Taylor being read for the second time regarding the fiscal year 2025 Capital Improvement Program loan order. Ordered that the various capital projects and equipment purchases shown under the heading of grant funding on the schedule attached hereto and consisting of miscellaneous grants in the amount of $16,181,417 and Chapter 90, $620,000 for a total of $16,801,000.
Yes.
If we could waive the reading and just, if the clerk could read out the amounts and what they're going for, and then move to roll call vote.
Seeing no objection. Waiving the reading and moving into a roll call vote
Just the amounts.
with just the amounts.
$600,000 be and hereby appropriated to pay costs of water system improvements shown on the schedule under water fund borrowing, MWRA loan. The sum of $7,492,459 be and hereby appropriated from free cash to pay for various projects shown on the schedule under the heading free cash. The sum of $2,600,000 be and hereby appropriated from the school stabilization fund to pay the cost of various capital projects under heading school stabilization. The sum of $1,515,000 be and hereby appropriated from retained earnings in the Water Enterprise Fund to pay for costs of various water-related capital projects. And the sum of $1,765,000 be appropriated from retained earnings in the Sewer Enterprise to pay for various sewer-related capital projects shown on the schedule under the heading Sewer Enterprise Fund. Councilor Taylor moved. Roll call vote. A yes vote to adopt. Councilor Tesh.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
Councilor Vega.
Yes.
Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat.
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia.
Yes.
And Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
11 members in favor, 0 opposed, 0 absent. The Capital Improvement Program loan order is adopted.
Thank you, Clerk. Moving on to new business.
First order under new business is an order introduced by Councilor Tesher. Order that the city manager look into creating a program to provide support for entrepreneurs seeking to start and grow businesses in the city of Chelsea.
Councilor Teshi, how do you wish to proceed?
Madam President, I'd like to move for a roll call, waiving second reading, and if there are no objections, I'd like to say a couple of words.
Any objections? Seeing none, you have the floor.
I introduced this order after having multiple conversations with people, my own neighbors, my own friends, people I got graduated from Chelsea High with. A lot of them have hopes. We saw a couple of people come up today and talk about their dreams of starting a new business. Coming out of the pandemic, we know a lot of people ran out of their funds because they used it all up. They no longer have a chance to start something new unless they go into debt, which they may already be. And I think the city is at a position at which we can really help our people by standing up and not just providing for the bare necessities, but also providing them with a chance to do something new, provide them with the opportunities to, again, pursue their dreams. So without further ado, I would like to call on the roll call.
All right. Councilor Teshi moves to a roll call vote.
No speakers?
Point of information.
Councilor Taylor, you have the floor.
This is just an order for the city manager to look into this. This is not a program or anything else that needs to be. So I mean, we can roll call if you want, but I mean.
No, yeah, definitely clarification. So the specifics have not been laid out yet, and this is the call for the city manager to do so. So right now, if the council approves it, this will be a order for the city manager to come up with a plan, provide it for the council, and then the council will be able to debate on the specifics of how much is going to be spent, how much is going to get a person and how it's going to be handled. So the specifics are not yet there, but this would be the first step.
So a roll call vote yes would be showing interest in having the conversation.
No other speakers? A yes vote is to adopt. Councilor Tesh?
Yes.
Councilor Taylor?
Yes.
Councilor Vega?
Yes.
Councilor Teneri Garcia?
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat?
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus?
Yes.
Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Recupero? Councilor Kelly Garcia?
Yes.
And Councilor Robinson?
Yes.
11 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 absent. Order is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Tesh. Order that the city manager look into creating a program that provides assistance for the residents of the city of Chelsea to pay their energy and water bills.
Councilor Teshi?
Madam President, I'd like to accept and adopt and under suspension of the rules, if there are no objections.
Seeing no objections? Thank you. Moving on.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Tesh. Order that the city manager direct relevant departments to work with the city council office to create a new section of the city website to allow each councilor to have their own page that lists orders introduced and other information the councilor believes their constituents should have.
Councilor Teshi?
Madam President, I'd like to move this order to Subcommittee on Intergovernmental Affairs in order to weave out the specifics of how this is going to be played out, if there are no objections.
Seeing no objections, moving forward.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Robinson. Order that a conference be held with the Northeast Metro Regional Vocational School Superintendent David DeBerry to receive an update on the following topics. The letter dated January 26, 2024 regarding the 23% reduction in cost for the new school building, the status of the EPA lawsuit, how many slots will be allocated for Chelsea students once the new school is complete, and any planned expansions and the anticipated cost for the city of Chelsea.
Councilor Robinson?
I'll accept and file a communication under suspension if there are no objections. Just briefly, the city manager and I have been going back and forth on discussing this issue. I know we received a letter in regards to the 23% reduction, but it never said where the reduction came from. So I wanted to explore a little bit more to find out where the reduction came from. And the state actually allocated more money to the school, and that's why we got the 23% reduction. And actually, on Thursday, we're going to be doing a conference call with Superintendent DeBerry at 9 o'clock on Thursday.
Thank you, Councilor. Moving on.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Robinson. Order that the city manager provide to the city council a list of all construction and/or infrastructure projects that are considered shovel-ready.
Adopt this unanimously under suspension if there are no objections.
Seeing no objections, moving on.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Recupero. Order that a meeting of the Subcommittee on Elder Services, Veterans Affairs, and Community Advancement be held to receive an update on the city's program from Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Seeing no objections, moving on. Thank you, Councilor.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Recupero. Order that the city manager instruct the city solicitor to provide the city council with a copy of Part 2, Chapter 30, Article 5, Division 1, Section 30-196, Building, Sewers, and Connections of the Code of Ordinances prior to being amended in October of 2009.
I'd like to adopt under suspension if there's no objection. I'd like to speak on it.
You have the floor, Councilor.
I did receive something from the city solicitor regarding this, but I don't think that solves anything. It just tells me something and it doesn't tell me what I really want to know. The whole point of this is before 2009, the people weren't responsible to pay the whole way down the sewer. They were just responsible up to the sidewalk. Then in 2009, they changed it. Now, if you have a break within your water, you could go broke. You might have to mortgage your house. I have people that happened to, and they've paid $25,000, $30,000 just for that. And I don't know how it works. They said that we are in agreement with EPA or whatever it is. I don't know how it operates, but I know one thing, that we need to do something for the people that own homes and have this type of issue. So if we can't resolve it within that issue, like saying that we can't have an agreement with the EPA. I haven't seen it, but I believe what the city solicitor says, there's an agreement. I would like to see it, but that's okay. And I would make a suggestion that if we can't change the agreement with them, then we'll go to the Water Enterprise Fund to help these people. Because it would be heartbreaking for a 75 or 80-year-old woman to have to, or a man, whatever it is, that's on a fixed income, to spend $30,000, $40,000 to fix a pipe, which before the city used to take. So it's kind of wrong, and this needs to be explored more, and it needs to be fixed. It's something, so we're always saying we are for the citizens. Well, here's a chance to prove that you're for the citizen. Help them, because everybody doesn't have $30,000, $40,000 to fix what the city used to fix before. So I wish and I hope that my fellow councilors here will go along and help the poor people of this city and find some kind of solution or some type of fix if we can't fix it through the ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Moving on.
We have an order introduced by Councilor Recupero. Order that a meeting of the Subcommittee on Elder Services, Veterans Affairs, and Community Advancement be held with the Director of Veteran Services and City Solicitor to discuss increasing the statutory exemption for veteran homeowners in Chelsea.
I'd like to adopt under suspension. I'd like to speak on it.
You have the floor, Councillor.
This city already does great things for the veterans, but I've been checking into it, and we don't give the maximum we can give to these veterans. The maximum is the highest amount you can give any veteran that owns a home, and the city does not do that. It only gives a percentage. So I would like to explore the possibility of giving veterans the maximum allowed by law. And so we will find out what is then maybe if we need to, we'll have a subcommittee to explore how it goes or whatever it is. And then we can figure out if the veterans deserve it. I believe that every veteran that owns a home in the city should get the maximum because they serve this country and they deserve whatever they can get. And this city should do the utmost and should try hard to at least accommodate the veterans that are homeowners. I don't think there's that many within our city. The last time I heard that it was 65 years or older, there was only 30 of them. I don't know how many there is total. I can find that out. But the last time when I went downstairs and I asked which one were the seniors that own homes, there was only 30. And the total amount the city disperses to them is $30,000. I believe we could do much better than $30,000. And I believe every veteran, regardless of age, that owns a home should be entitled to the maximum that they can get for taxes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Moving on to moments of silence or public announcements. Yes, Councillor Sandegate.
March 26th at 6 p.m. There'll be a public safety discussion led by the city manager and Chief Houghton at the public library upstairs, I believe, in the reference room. And I hope that all interested parties can attend.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Robinson?
I'm actually on Wednesday night, part of the 400 celebration. The Chelsea Chamber will be holding an event at the Holiday Inn down on Broadway. I hope to see my colleagues there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councillor. All right, Councillor Taylor and then Councillor Recupero.
So I wanted to announce to everybody here and watching at home, on Tuesday, April 2nd, we're going to hold our first special committee hearing on youth sports. So I'm publicly inviting everybody who is interested in this topic or wants to participate in this process to please come to the Williams School. It will be held at the Williams School at 7 p.m. If you have any questions, anyone can reach out to me. My cell phone is 617-872-3174. It's listed on the city website, so if anybody has any questions, please reach out. But this is an important topic, so if you are interested in us kind of revamping and creating something that's really going to work for our youth, please come to the Williams School Tuesday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Recupero?
I have two public announcements. One is an interesting one. I've been approached by many constituents that their taxes for the houses, if you live there, you have to come in and show them that you live there, or you won't get the residential exemption. And a lot of them don't know. They think that they automatically get it. You don't automatically get it. You have to come in, and you have to show them the paperwork. 5 years? I don't. It's every 5 years you got to show them. Yes, you go. But if you haven't done it, a lot of people think that they automatically get it. You don't automatically get it. You have to come in. That's one. The next one is a lot of seniors. You can get a senior's exemption. If you're 65 years or older, you can apply on top of your residential exemption. You're not just allowed one exemption. I think there's more than one. There's 2 or 3 exemptions you can have. So educate yourself, or if you don't know it, contact us, the counselors, and we will help you how to get this done, because it's very important for you to know. And I'm telling you, just to let you know, that we're here to help you. All of us are here to help whoever needs any type of help, and then there is such programs that you can do.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Santagate?
Yes, sorry, I have one other announcement. This Wednesday, the 20th of March, I know it's in conflict with the Chamber event, but the Chelsea Kiwanis and Medford Kiwanis clubs, together with as many volunteers as we can corral into helping, are going to be packing up 10,000 meals through our work with Outreach, Ending Hunger New England, the outreach program. We did it last year, and we packed up rice and beans and minestrone soup, and we were able to use the food in our micro pantries and in other organizations that feed the people, our other pantries. It was amazing. I didn't think it was going to be possible to pack up literally 10,000 meals within a 2-hour time period. So if anyone has any extra time on Wednesday, we're meeting at the high school at 6 o'clock. So many hands make light work. Maybe we can even do it sooner than 8.
Thank you, Counselor. No more announcements? Okay. Moment of silence. Counselor Brown?
President. Just ask for a moment of silence for my family. I lost my first cousin this past weekend. We'll be having a service for him in Randolph, Massachusetts on Wednesday. My family is traveling from different locations, so I ask that you keep them in your prayers and your thoughts in your own way, in your own religion. Thank you.